Okay, let's do this. Time to dig into the convention committee reports for the 2022 North Carolina Republican Party Convention. Let's do it! Yay! Okay, first, Platform Committee. Okay. Platform. Make sure my camera stays on this time. Okay. Article 2, the economy. By the way, if you want to follow along with me, go to the North Carolina Republican Party homepage. Click on 2022 State Convention on the upper right. And then also in the upper right after that is the committee reports. Go down to Platform. And actually, for the platform report, I kept this book from last year, and I was able to compare the platform from last year to this year to see, for you, what are the new items that have been added to this year's platform in 2022. So let me go ahead and take a look at this. Okay. Again, I'm in Article 2, the economy, sentence number 9. We acknowledge that many North Carolina communities are underserved as to their health care needs. We support ease in regulations and major reforms to Certificate of Need laws, con laws. Yes, con laws. Yes, I said it. Dale Falwell said it. Dale Falwell says it, you know I'm going to say it. Because Dale Falwell is awesome. But yes, we support ease in regulations and major reforms to Certificate of Need laws as they can stifle competition, increase cost, and negatively impact health outcomes. Now let's go down to Article number 3, Individual Liberty, sentence number 6. We disagree with all censorship of constitutionally protected free speech, including but not limited to all social media platforms. Article 4, Sanctity of Life, sentence number 2. We are the party that offers real solutions for women. We have a moral obligation to assist women who face unexpected pregnancies and applaud organizations that empower women with compassionate, life-affirming resources and care. Sentence number 3. We oppose infanticide and urge the enactment of laws to require medical care for babies who survive the abortions. That last sentence is a response to our absolutely despicable Governor Roy Cooper, who vetoed the Born Alive bill. The Born Alive bill states that if a baby survives abortion, then they're entitled to medical care. He vetoed it. Yeah, absolutely sick son of a gun, Roy Cooper. But yeah, those are the additions to the platform committee. Yours truly needs to thank the following committee members: Julie Scott Emmons, chair of the committee; Beth Capillary, 1st District; Don Payne, 2nd District; our buddy Stephen Radner, 3rd District; Evelyn Poole Kober, 4th District; Heather Ward, 5th District; Connie Baker, 6th District; Catherine Lawyer, District 7; Jennifer Dunbar, District 8; Harold Mendelson, District 9; Lisa Rao, 10th District. She also serves as the Secretary of the State Platform Committee. John Anglin, District 11. Ashley Bookout, District 12. I'm sorry, I don't mean to make fun of your name, Ashley. I just think it's pretty cool that Ashley Bookout. And so Brandon Tucker, District 13. An at-large, Julie Scott Emmons, Kevin Austin at large, and Abdul Ali at large. Okay. And that is the report from the platform committee. Now let's move on to resolutions, okay? Last year we had 15 resolutions, believe it or not. This year, 3. The worst part of the 15 resolutions from last year is they did not get heard at the convention last year during the business session. Executive Committee. What did the Executive Committee do? They were not heard because Senator Ralph Heiss from Mitchell County decided it was appropriate for him to make a motion to adjourn because he, of all people, lives 6 hours on the other side of the state from Greenville, North Carolina. And he thought that instead of being a gentleman, instead of being a statesman about the situation, quietly leaving, he decided he wanted to make a motion to adjourn. And guess what? The rest of the committee, except for yours truly and a couple other people, the rest of the room say, yeah, let's adjourn. So, needless to say, I am endorsing his primary opponent, who's a Republican, by the way. Endorsing Ralph Heiss's opponent in the primary coming up in May because of that little action. You know, if you really want to go home, go home. Don't ruin it for the rest of us who are actually trying to do business of the party. You know, really. Okay, so you would think these 15 resolutions would get heard at the December 2021 Executive Committee meeting. No, they weren't. So there were, most of them got thrown out. Now, we might see a few of these again, maybe 3 or 4 years from now, but who knows. So, for the sake, because I'm a nice guy and I want to respect the work of the Resolutions Committee from last year, I'm going to give you the titles of all the resolutions from last year and this year. Okay? So, now some of these may have been thrown out because they're a little dated, but the issue is not as hot this year as it was last year, or a lot of them are on the 2020 election and the aftermath. But still, there were some good ones from last year that, why the heck were they not heard? Kind of weird. By the way, our sister buddy, Tina Forsberg's resolution on open primaries did not make the cut, even though the report from last year clearly stated that they were going to review the open closed primaries debate and have something for us next year, but they don't. Okay, resolution supporting broadband access from last year. Don't know why in the world that was thrown out. I mean, everybody needs internet access these days, no matter where you live. It's as necessary as, lights and water. I mean, come on, really. Resolution opposing using critical race theory in North Carolina schools. That one was actually merged into resolution on school choice for this year. Resolution of concern of the NC legislative legal stand-in regarding elections. That one case a little dated. Resolution regarding future elections. A little dated. Resolution regarding the 2020 election. Okay, that's a little dated. Resolution rejecting the national popular vote movement and supporting the Electoral College. That one, you can go either way on that one. It's not an election year this year, but still, we need the Electoral College. Come on, really. Resolution opposing the Equality Act and protecting women's sports. That was actually merged into a new amendment this year called Opposing Transgender Agenda in School and Sports. Resolution urging the NC State Legislature to protect our First Amendment rights and curb big tech's unconstitutional censorship. From last year, this one, Resolution Freedom and Health Resolution. Really? You got rid of that one last year? Huh? Resolution supporting hemp farmers and producers of hemp products last year. We just want to screw over those more libertarian Republicans. Shame on them. Even though, really, makes sense. The resolution makes sense, and sometimes libertarians do make sense on some issues. But certainly not on the issue of they love open borders, and libertarians believe in no government at all. They believe in all anarchy. Resolution supporting the Keep 9 Amendment to the United States Constitution. That one is a carbon copy for this year's resolution. That's a clear transfer. Resolution supporting local law enforcement. That was thrown out for this year. Resolution proposing an amendment to the NC Constitution allowing for the recall of the governor and council of state. That was also thrown out, a little dated. Resolution thanking President Donald J. Trump. Good resolution, but again dated. And then resolution of no confidence in the United Nations. That one was thrown out too. More of a national issue than a state issue, I guess. But okay, so let me go ahead and read to you this letter from the committee reports. It says the NCGOP 2022 Resolutions Committee considered 21 total resolutions from across the state by the submission deadline. Each resolution was carefully considered and debated by a committee from a multitude of topical categories that often intersected. The committee felt there is value in defining their role and scope during this consideration. Understand that by definition a resolution is a tool to express a body's approval or disapproval of a matter that cannot otherwise be addressed by another method. A resolution does not have the weight of law, and though it serves many secondary purposes, its two main purposes is to provide a message or to influence. Resolutions are typically less controversial among the deliberative body as they express consensus. The resolution is simply a formal expression of opinion, will, or intent. They are intended to be timely with temporary effect and intended neither to be permanent nor enforceable, but indicative of ideas and values. Respecting the definition and scope of the resolution, every submitted resolution was thoughtful. The committee must consider whether the resolution is otherwise effectively addressed by another method, as it may already be covered within the party platform or plan of organization. It may also already be self-evident within the party or has already been effectively expressed by other means. It also may have little influence and power, as in the case with many federal issues. The committee must also consider the dilutive effect of a multitude of resolutions. Less is more. When writing resolutions that are effective, will be read and will achieve the desired impact. 3 resolutions met the criteria by the deadline this year and were additionally revised by a committee to reflect several other similar resolutions to incorporate the similarity of ideas. The committee thanks all the resolution writers. The committee reminds the authors that they can continue to pursue forums for all the submitted resolutions by a multitude of other venues, as again every submission was thoughtful. The committee-approved resolutions are submitted for consideration to the convention floor with respect to these stringent parameters. Respectfully, Philip Stevens, Chairman of the NCGOP Resolutions Committee. So the 3 resolutions for this year are resolution supporting the Keep 9 Amendment to the U.S. Constitution that deals with keeping 9 justices on the Supreme Court. It prohibits court packing. Resolution supporting school choice and rejected critical race theory. And resolution opposing the transgender agenda in school and sports. And okay, so that is for that one. And now let's see here. Let's go. Last but certainly not least, the Plan Organization Committee. Okay. Excuse me a minute. Okay, so before I get into the crux of the WHO Plan Organization, let me go ahead and read to you the members who had a large role in deciphering the Plan Organization and bringing about these 4 proposed changes. We have Ed Stiles of Wilson County, also Secretary; Ed Gavin of Wake County; Bob Pruitt of Carteret County; Melody Parrish of Durham County; Lynette Ramsey of Caldwell County; Marcus Kinley of Guilford County. Hey, home, sweet home, Guilford County; Gerald Kivitz of Sampson County; our buddy Roger Farina of Harnett County; Daniel Berry of Union County, also the Vice Chair of the State Planning Organization Committee; Caitlin Gregory of Iredell County; David Akis of Haywood County; Ann Clifford of Mecklenburg County; Rick Smith of Randolph County; and serving at large is Jonathan Fletcher from Gaston County; Alyssa Batts of Union County; and the chairman of the State Plan Organization Committee is Stephen Walker of Johnston County. Now, this little paragraph from the committee says, during this cycle, the committee considered dozens of proposed amendments to the State Plan Organization, some submitted by members of the committee and others submitted by the party members. The chair thanks the Plan Organization Committee for its hard work, and the committee recommends to the delegates of the state convention that these 4 amendments be adopted. Okay, proposed amendment number 1 is on electronic meetings. And I don't know if I don't have a copy in front of me, but basically it puts in new language that says that, except as herein provided, meetings of the following bodies are to be held in person: all state, district, and county conventions, all state executive committee and state central committee meetings, all required district executive committee meetings, and all required county executive committee meetings. Let's see. So this was looked at last year, and it was voted down by the convention delegates because there was still a little bit of concern with COVID, but more so is concern with travel, hotel expenses, especially if you're asking somebody from up top of the mountain by Tennessee to drive all the way to Raleigh for a state executive committee meeting. And that was also why there was the movement to go from 2 meetings a year to 4 meetings a year. That was also thrown out because of the travel expenses. Let me see. But the in-person meetings may be broadcast. Notwithstanding the foregoing, a county or district chair may petition in writing or via email the state party chairman for relief from the in-person meeting requirement. County or district chairs may join together in a written or emailed petition. Grounds for relief consist of a need for a meeting which cannot be postponed, an event consisting of an adverse weather event or a public health crisis, or an unforeseeable occurrence which counsels prudence against an in-person meeting. The state party chairman may grant the petition after a majority vote on consultation with the vice chair, the general counsel, the treasurer, and the secretary. State Secretary shall record all votes for and against the petition. On the same grounds, State Party Chair may grant relief from the in-person meeting requirement for state conventions, State Executive Committee meetings, and State Central Committee meetings. On a majority vote after consultation with the Vice Chair, the General Counsel, the Secretary, and the Treasurer, as well as the National Committee Man and National Committee Woman, the State Secretary shall record all votes for and against the petition. In addition, any district executive committee meetings or county executive committee meetings beyond the required quarterly meetings may be held in person or electronically at the discretion of the chair of the respective committee. So again, if you're, the chair of District 6 and you want to have more than, I think it's 2 meetings a year you have to meet district. But if you want to have another meeting, the third meeting, hey, we're just going to do it in Zoom, go over a couple things. You can do that. Each state, district, and county executive or central committee may authorize any stand-in or special committee formed under its jurisdiction to be conducted as an electronic meeting. Okay. Let me see. Give me just a second. When the state party chair grants relief from any in-person meeting requirement for a state convention, or the state executive committee or a state central committee, the state party chair shall provide an alternative broadcast by electronic means of a meeting. When the state party chair grants relief from any in-person meeting requirement for a district or county convention or executive committee meeting, the respective chair of any such district or county party shall provide an alternative broadcast by electronic means of a meeting. In any case, the state party chair or the district or county chair may provide a place for in-person participation. Any meeting held electronically must allow each member to fully participate in its proceedings, including the right to attend meetings, the right to make motions, to speak and debate, and to vote. No member can be individually deprived of these basic rights of membership or of any basic rights concomitant to them, such as the right to make nominations or to give up previous notice of a motion. Okay? And the rationale for this, it says this clarifies the procedures for meetings to be virtual, with the default position for the covered meetings being in person. Making this amendment to the plan of organization would increase meaningful participation in the covered meetings conventions. So I don't know if that will pass or not, but we'll see. Amendment number 2, membership requirements. Okay, so basically, all citizens of North Carolina who are registered Republicans are members of the Republican Party of North Carolina and shall have the right to participate in the official affairs of the Republican Party in accordance with these rules. Okay. Any person running for party office with North Carolina Republican Party at any level shall be a resident of the jurisdiction in which he seeks office. Okay, so new language. In the event a candidate for public office was not a registered Republican as of January 31st of the year prior to the election in which that candidate seeks election, the executive committee of the jurisdiction may disqualify such candidate from recognition, endorsement, and the utilization of party resources. Rationale. This would prevent those who switch their party registration shortly before filing from requiring the Republican Party from recognizing, endorsing, and utilizing the party resources of the jurisdiction in which the candidate is seeking office. This is a permissive provision, and its utilization will be left in the discretion of the appropriate executive committee. So let's say you have Lisa Turtle, Saved by the Bell, just popped from my radar. Lisa Turtle is a Democrat, but she changes parties on, okay, if she's a Democrat and she changes parties by January 31st and then runs Republican in the February filing, she's okay. But if Lisa Turtle files, I think that's how I read this. Okay, wait a minute. No. Okay. So, you have to be a registered Republican for at least a whole year before the filing. So if you're running for Congress in 2024, you have to and if you're unaffiliated or Democrat or Libertarian, Green, Paycheck, Rent's Too High, whatever party. If you want to run for Congress as a Republican, you have to change parties by January 31st of 2023. I think that's the point. The point of this is to not have a fly-by-night Republican who's going to split the vote and soil the primary, like Chris Anglin for the judicial race that ultimately caused Barbara Jackson her seat on the Supreme Court. One of those kind of situations, I guess. Amendment number 3, party disloyalty. Okay. So, this adds a little more teeth to party disloyalty. Automatic resignation clause. This is brand new. It says any committee member or officer of a county, district, or state Republican executive committee campaigning in person, on social media, or in any other manner for a candidate in any race who is not a member of the Republican Party and is running in opposition to a member of the Republican Party shall have deemed to have automatically resigned from the committee and any position. In addition, no committee member or officer shall serve as a treasurer or member of a campaign committee for any candidate in any race if that candidate is not a member of the Republican Party and is running in opposition to a member of the Republican Party. Okay, rationale. In the event a person who sits on any executive committee in the Republican Party decides to support a non-Republican candidate over a Republican, that person will have deemed to automatically have resigned from the executive committee. This is to prevent the sharing of confidential or strategic information with non-Republican candidates who are in opposition to Republican candidates. Okay. Finally, amendment number 4 is committee call of meetings. New paragraph here. For all standing committees of the state executive, state central committee, or the state convention, a committee meeting may be called upon the call of the chair of the committee or upon petition of 1/3 of the members of the committee, after giving 15 days written notice to all committee members. 25% of the members shall constitute a quorum for the transaction of business. This brings the standing committee call of meeting and quorum provisions in conformity with other sections of the plan organization. Alrighty. Oh, and then we have one that kind of sort of it did not make the cut, but it still might make it to the convention floor. This is from the vice chair of Granville County, a person by the name of Michael Magnanti. This is a new one. Minimum qualifications for any leadership position. Party chair, party officer, committee chair, committee member. Minimum qualifications: must have a high school diploma, high school equivalency of that. Any person that's been convicted of a felony is not qualified to serve at state, district, county, or precinct level or on any party committee unless and until all rights have been completely restored. Any person having been convicted of a felony or misdemeanor crime of moral turpitude, including but not limited to any offense against a minor person, will not be qualified to serve in any capacity at state, district, county, or precinct level, or any party committee in any capacity at any level. There is no time limit to this provision. Okay. Also, any person having served any prison term for any crime of moral turpitude or any offense against any minor person will not be qualified to serve in any capacity in the state, district, county, or precinct level, or any party committee. On no time limit to this provision. This particular, the minimum qualifications, this did not make the actual plan organization report. I do think it's going to go through, it's going to make it to the floor of the convention, though. Whether or not it gets 2/3 majority be heard, I don't know. But what happened here is there is a active Republican Party activist who, to my knowledge, was a county party chair, now is a district party chair, and over 20 years ago, 1999, 2000, somewhere around then, they were in their early 20s, and they had some, let's call it indecent activities with a middle school boy. Okay. This person in their early 20s, of course now it's 20 some odd years later, they're now about in their early... They're in their late 20s then. Now they're in their, close to 50. So, but anyway, sensitive issue. You can tell why it did not make the plan organization report, but it still might come to the floor of the convention. I'm thinking if you want to put something like this in here, okay, fine. But the media already raked this person over the coals actually back in 2012 when they tried to serve as a delegate to the Republican National Convention in Tampa. The media already raked him over the coals. Now it's 10 years later, and this particular member of Granville County is bringing it up again. Kind of odd. I mean, this was 20 some odd years ago. This man is now married to another activist in the Republican Party, and they both served. They're everywhere in the party. They hold fundraisers, and still there's people in the party who think that this particular person should be not serving in the party. So it's a very complex, delicate issue. You can kind of see why it didn't. I mean, there was a whole write-up of this on the Daily Haymaker. You can kind of see why it was not. Why State Party Chairman Michael Wiley does not want this to be heard. But just to give you a little insight, this convention, I don't know. It might be a little bit lighter on business, or there might be some things come to the floor of the convention that you and I don't know about yet. But stay tuned. And by the way, just to note that this video was recorded on April 20th, 2022 at about 9 o'clock in the evening. The committee reports were released at just about 6:30 p.m. that evening. So yeah, they did get them within the 30-day period. Same thing last year, they were released around 6:37ish, and it's kind of become a tradition, I guess, for it to be released. But yeah, I always feel like a kid on Christmas morning unwrapping a gift when I go over these things. And I hope you enjoy them as much as I do. Reading them, analyzing them. Of course, if any new developments break, then I will definitely be on YouTube and get a video about it. But until then, this is Bobby Crawford. Thank you for dealing with my allergies tonight, folks. This is Right Eats, Right Politics. Good night.